Joining us now is Holly Finley. And Holly, we just heard from Ricky a moment ago, kind of break down the course, and you certainly have talked about your love for wooded golf. So, what do you think about the changes that we've seen from last year's version to this year's iteration?
Terry. The new course called the Thorn is very fun to play. It's scoreable for the FPO division. I was able to eagle both of the par fives and I got a lot of birdies. So it's scoreable and I appreciate that. It's a good layout. I just feel like I say the same thing every time I'm on here. I will always choose wooded courses over an open or a combo style course. But I think overall the team and Greg did a great job putting together a design that's scoreable and fair and fun to play.
Right now, you're just about in the middle of what I saw as an 8-week stretch in your schedule. What do you do to mentally and physically prepare yourself for 2 months of solid competitive disc golf?
I didn't even realize it because I feel like I've signed up for an event every weekend until the Pro Tour finale, because that's just life as a pro. You know, I want to play them all and I want to get all the points to ensure that I do get a spot in the finale in Charlotte. So as far as what I do, I don't have anything special, but my routine is, you know, I go to the gym, I play 1 or 2 practice rounds a day. I switch up some practicing between upshots, long drives, and putting. I spend a significant amount of time on putting. I did more long putts in the off season, and I have noticed that my short putts have suffered at the last several events, which is very unusual for me. I feel like I'm always good for at least 75% and above in circle one, even if I'm having an off day. But that's not the case lately. So, I mean, sure, it's fun to make the long ones, but I can't forget about the shorties because those are really important and the ones that get on your nerves the most. You're like, sweet, I parked it and I missed the 17-footer. Alrighty then. So I'm going to spend more time in the circle, you know, because I feel like I've done a good job understanding like the 45 to the 75 foot range, which earlier for me in previous years was like a lucky putt. And now I step up to a 45 footer and I'm like, I feel like I got a like 3 out of 5 chance of making this, you know, like this is feeling like 30 feet to me. So as long as it's not too windy and there's no water behind, I'm probably going to go for the long ones.
Well, and speaking of your chances, we've also seen you bust out a few more forehands, something I feel like you worked on in the off season. How are you going to be applying those out here on this course specifically?
I actually have only needed it on one specific hole, hole 2. For the upshot into the green. Other than that, I feel like everything plays just to like a normal shot. The previous Dogwood course, I felt like had a lot of Anheisers. I didn't throw forehands back then so much, so I was just relying on my good Annies, which I learned from you, by the way, circa 2012, Valley View. Holla. And you know, so this year, I don't feel like there are a lot of forehand shots for my game. I'm getting to the basket and in good positions with just right hand, backhand, hyzer shots and straight shots.
All right, here's Hayden.
Hey, Ollie.
Hello.
A couple days ago, USWDGC set a registration record in just about 24 hours.
Yes.
What does that mean to you?
It's incredible because I remember many years ago when I first started, we were amazed with 40. You know, and I remember writing TDs and asking, could we get more spots? And I was told, you know, 40 is usually the maximum we've seen at Worlds. We're allocating the proper number of spots based on past data. And now I'm just seeing the numbers explode. Plus it's in the hometown of Madison, Wisconsin, where I lived for about 8 years and I learned to play disc golf. And the championship is on the courses where I learned to play disc golf. So it's just going to be a really special thing for me to go back home and compete at a major on the courses where I found and fell in love with the game.
Hello, Holly. Chris
Hi.
with Gatekeeper. You talked about a long season and all these tournaments all leading down to that finale. What are some things you do to kind of unwind from disc golf and just get away from it completely?
A lot of the courses are at state parks or parks that have trail systems or greenways. hiking trails, uncovered and covered, bike trails and things of that nature. And I really enjoy exploring those. I love to just walk, sometimes jog, sometimes I do sprints, but I try to get in between 2 and 4 miles and really see other parts of the park that you don't see as you traverse the course. And as always, checking out all of the animals and the forest friends along the way.
Thank you.
All right, Holly, I'm going to go back just for a moment to what you were just talking about, the U.S. Women's. Played in the area that you've been playing a lot of golf in the last decade, in Madison, Wisconsin. If you had to describe it for someone, what would you say Madison disc golf kind of looks like?
We've got a good mix of wooded and open courses that I feel like were designed kind of before the era of the really high-speed drivers. So everything is very scoreable. You know, if you're having an amazing day, you could probably shoot 15 to 18 under at some of the courses. So that's going to be interesting to see if they're going to put in new tees or possibly, you know, longer pin positions. I'm not sure. I haven't seen the major layout, but I'm eager to see how the TD, I believe Mr. Mike Backa is going to put it together. I know he's going to do a great job. He's really supported the community there for a long time, and I'm excited to check it out.
All right, my final one for you is, we saw you open up the season 38th at Vegas, then 26th at Belton, 10th at Waco was your best performance. Again, the most wooded course. Do you feel like you got everything dialed in for this weekend?
Yes. Again, those other times I was throwing further than ever before. In Vegas, I had some drives that I couldn't have dreamed of reaching in previous years. And then on the putting green, well, I just went back and forth and it was awful. But I'm sure everyone's had a taste of that at some point in their life. So a lot of those were those elevated greens that I've been seeing a trend of. You know, we had them at Vegas, there's some at Waco, Belton, same style, like greens up on a mound, extremely winded, rollaways everywhere. And, you know, that's really what it came down to. I made some poor decisions being too aggressive. And I caught a lot of rollaways. And then, you know, I had a birdie chance that turned into a 6 because my putt went out of bounds. And just as quick as that, you know, you've ruined your round by a couple of poor decisions. But one thing I did take away from Waco was it was extremely windy and I was very conservative around the green, circle to and in. And I felt like I laid up shots that really hurt my soul. I'm not going to lie, Terry, I felt like a sellout chump. You know, I was laying up 40 footers and that is not me ever by any means, but I did. And I averaged like 964 golf laying up. So if there's any lesson to learn there, it's that I don't always have to be aggressive. I've done the hardest part of the job by getting all the way to the circle, and now I just need to finish it cleanly. So whether that means laying up for par or, you know, just giving a softer birdie bid, I'm going to be working on that because that's my big takeaway from the season so far.
All right, well, we're excited to see how your aggression or maybe some of that laying up works out for you. Best of luck to you this weekend, Holly. We'll be right back.
Thank you.